grumpy. Well, that's a bit better. So now I've covered everything up with these inner skins. Need to make access for the fuel filler and battery box the other side, so that's what I'm going to do today. Now you probably can't see in the camera because it's pretty pitch black, but looking underneath, we've got a fuel filler and what appears to be a water filler as well. So I'm gonna have to make holes for both of those. So what I'm gonna do is just mark them on the back, take it off, and we'll have a look. As you can see from my precision mark out, there's going to be some aerospace grade engineering going on today. So obviously we need full access for this one and temporary access for that one. So I think I'm going to make a panel with a hole for this one and it removes to keep everything happy days. So I've marked our access panel on the back. What I'll do is cut that out, but I want some nice corners on it. So put 40mm rad on it. So what I've got is these Q-Max cutters. These things are brilliant. What we do is drill a little pilot hole, well, I say a little, a reasonable size, and then wind these through and they cut like perfect little hole out. They do work just as well by hand, I'm just being lazy. Obviously, all that looks like now is we've just cut a hole in the side. So I think we need to make it look like some sort of crazy race car spec setup. Maybe throw some aircraft rivets in there as well. Should be pretty cool. So what I think I'm going to do now is cut out a panel to fit inside this hole and then cut one out bigger to sit behind it on the back to hold it to it. And then we'll work out how to make it look pretty. So I've cut out this sort of letterbox piece, yeah? It goes sit in the back, and then this piece will be our panel. It sits in the front, and then so what we've got to do now is obviously drill it and rivet it and all that sort of stuff. And then once that's done, we can offer it up and shape it to suit, you know, the fuel filler and whatever, make it look nice. Outside ring done. Here's that one. Now I know you're thinking that's going to be a pain in the ass every time you want to fill up, but I get to that now. So, still needs a bit more strengthening, a couple of welds, some rivets and a bit of dressing up and tidying up, maybe a little lip around there just to make it look a bit prettier. So that's what we're going to do now. So first I'm just going to clean this bit up, deburr all the holes, dress it, make it look nice. Same with this, and then rivet this on the back and maybe put a couple of little tack welds just around the edge just to keep it nice. So I cleaned that all up, I pinned it on, it's all ready to go. We'll throw a bit of etch primer on the back as well, just to protect it, although it will get all seam sealed and painted down later anyway. So what we're going to do is use these rivets to put in here. Going to be using these. These are, you can see in the camera, a bit small. These are just 8 rivets, they're all aerospace ones, all certified. If you don't know what it is, it's basically just a solid piece of material, depending on what grade and what thing you buy. These are ADs, these are stronger aluminium ones. Sort of harder, slightly harder than the soft ones. And you just put them in the oil and squash them basically. You can do them loads of different ways, but I just got me hand tongs today. So let's get those in. There we go, it's better, isn't it? It's a lot more stronger now as well. You see on the back, so obviously there's not enough space there to put some rivets in. I just got a couple of little tack bolts along, maybe one on each corner along the bottom, just to make sure it's held tight. It'll be nice when we seam seal it as well, make sure there's no gaps. Because it's quite cold in there, what I'm going to do is just try and warm the material a little bit. You don't want to shock it too much when you're just welding it up, so we warm it first, hopefully it reduces distortion a bit, just try and keep it nice and flat. Welding's all about good prep and controlling the heat. I've got everything clamped where I want it, nice and set. TIG set to 3 amps on start up and end, so that way we can really slowly bring the heat in and draw it out. That way it stops it, all the distortion happening, just keeps it nice and flat under control. Right, so after I finished welding that bit up, I did the same with this little piece here, this half. Put a nice little support in the back, welded that in, and then I've been sneaky with this bit. So put the rivets in the holes, but then open these ones up a bit bigger, so it sits inside. Sits nice and flush then. And then, tack welded 4 nuts on the back, and I've got these tiny little stainless M4 cap heads, which look really smart in there. So that's really good. So you just throw it back on the car and have a look at what it looks like. Just a battery box to do now then. So now we need access hole for this thing. I hope you all appreciate how long that took to film. I messed it up like 3 times. It was definitely not worth it. Make sure you join us next time to start building this wide body kit.